when you think about philosophers referring to boxing as the sweet science, you know, if anybody's ever heard that term, boxing is most compared to chess out of any other sport. I'm completely fascinated by the notion of going into the ring, small ring, and having the subtle maneuvers that allow you not to get punched directly in the face. That's what I think about social media. I think social media has a lot of science behind it. The reason I made this book far more like a textbook with all the case studies is I wanted to show the subtleties of what time do you post? How many words do you say in a Facebook post? Why you don't use the same picture on Facebook and Twitter and Pinterest? Why you don't connect your Facebook and Twitter accounts so they automate? All those kind of things I pay a lot of attention to, and so I wanted to start the conversation about the science and the actual analytics along with the creative that makes social effective as a selling mechanism.
Largely, the audience that pays attention to this show is a bunch of creatives, people that are trying to aspire to live a more creative life. They want to get out of a job they're not happy with into a dream job. They want to find more creativity in the job that they're in, or they're aspiring to be a photographer, a writer, a filmmaker, something like that. So obviously, all the media stuff that we're talking about here in the show is massively critical to their success. Talk to that audience for a second and tell them what they don't know about getting through the noise. Because it's noisy.
It's real noisy. The supply and demand issues at hand right now.
Come closer to me, come closer. This is the cameras, there you get there.
The supply and demand issues.
Here's your photo op right here.
So the supply and demand issues right now of content on the internet is a real problem. And so there's so many people talking and it's very difficult to listen. It's why Facebook created EdgeRank and doesn't allow you to see everything, right? So what I think is important.
It's like the uncomfortably long hug, you know, you just linger there for sorry about that.
What I think is important is that people realize that Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Pinterest, Instagram, Vine, Snapchat, I actually refer to them as gateway drugs, right? The pieces of content, these micro pieces of content, they're gateway drugs to lead to a bigger awareness of what you're doing somewhere else. And the two big misses are, one, people use social networks as distribution. They just use Facebook and Twitter to put out a link and they drive people towards something. Or, more importantly, they don't realize that it's micro. I mean, every single person watching right now, when they're on their phone, they're like this, right? And you've got 1/100 of a second. And putting a 7-minute YouTube video in your Facebook feed is stopping no one. Nobody's got 7 minutes for you, Johnny. And so, and so if you actually respect the context of the platform, and that's what this book's really about, and then more importantly, think about content this way. Jab, 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 right hook stands for give, 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 and then ask. You know, the problem is the far majority of people promoting on social networks are in the right hook, right hook, right hook, right hook, right hook, right hook, right hook business.
Do this, quickly, help me, what can you do for me?
That's right. And then the 3% that actually gets it, ironically, are so zen and hippie and purist, they're actually in the jab, 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 jab business. They actually don't even know how to, or are crippled by the ask.
Yeah.
And so that's what I tried to lay out here. Why have I been able to be relevant? It's both. It's that deep down in my heart and my gut, I'm a salesman. Yeah. However, I realized in 2014 that you have to provide a lot of value in a world of a lot of supply to actually get to some sort of place where you could basically guilt people. I mean, I'm trying to guilt people into buying my stuff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give so much up front. You know, in 2012, knowing that this was coming in 13, I jabbed the whole year. I wasn't asking for anything because I know I'm throwing a lot of right hooks right now because the book's out. And so, you know, I'm completely confused that people don't understand that they have to provide value to people. This entitlement that just because you have something, people should buy it or things of that nature is ludicrous because what people are underestimating is how much stuff is now out there.
It's noisy.
It's supply.
It is.
This is a very simple economic conversation. It's supply and demand, right? Photographers, how many more photographers are there today than there were 10 years ago? A shitload more.
Yes.
And the people that were professional photographers can sit around and say, well, this Instagram stuff is crap and this isn't quality. And that's the same thing actors said about reality TV. It doesn't matter. The audience they decide,
Yeah.
right? It's none of our jobs to decide what quality is. The consumer decides what quality is. And we are living through the highest level of supply of good content that we've ever seen. And you know, to me, the only formula to break through the noise is to try to provide exceptional value up front to create a relationship that gives you the opportunity to possibly convert on the back end.